Countdown is on.
Welcome to Game Over. I'm Charles J. Orlando.
And I'm Lisa Stedman.
And what's this show?
This is the show that reminds you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you get the milk carton out of the fridge and it's spoiled, you don't
put it back, right?
Hence, in relationships,
it's the same thing with exes, right? If the exes are like milk cartons, you don't pull it out of the refrigerator and think it's going to be good tomorrow if it's bad when you pull it out. You throw that shit out, you get new milk. You get new milk.
New milk! Let's hear it for new milk and new men. And
everybody go get new milk right now.
Yep, check the expiration date and go get some new milk.
If this is your first time here, this is the world's first live relationship show offering street smart love advice every day, Monday through Friday,
woohoo,
around the world.
Woohoo!
And we're going to jump right in.
Let's dive in, shall we?
We're going to talk about what's hot.
So can we talk for a minute about Chris Brown and Rihanna?
I think we have to, don't we?
OMG. So I had a very interesting discussion on Facebook today about this because, yes, domestic violence is a serious issue. And, yes, there's a lot of emotional and kind of mind stuff that goes into it. Why would she go back to Chris Brown?
You know, I've been trying to figure that out, too. I mean... So he smacked her around, and that was the one that was public.
Okay, I don't think those bruises were like a little smack around. Like, she likes to smack around in the bedroom. He fucking beat her up. Enough said.
I agree.
Game over.
Right, totally game over. But
yeah.
Why? So why is she going back? I mean, so are you saying that there's no way that an abuser can ever heal themselves?
I am not saying that, but if you look at the track record of Chris Brown, who gets in bar fights and throws chairs at Today Show windows, like, he has a track record of being a train wreck when it comes to anger management, violence, and just in general, not being the most functional human being.
No, I agree.
Haven't seen anything change about that.
No, and I haven't seen anything change about that either. I mean, he's got his own issues. He just... Fiona, our awesome producer, yes!
Yay, Fiona!
Fiona's back from vacation, so we're glad. But... she was just telling us
what
about
does Fiona have to do with Chris Brown and Rihanna?
Well,
does she know them? Fiona, do you have the inside scoop? Who did?
Yeah, she mentioned the Twitter fight.
Oh, the Twitter fight where Chris Brown took his profile down?
Yeah, he took his profile down because he and a comedian got into it. And yeah, like he took it down. And so that's what happens when I guess you get met with adversity that you can't address instantly.
Anger management.
Where somebody stands up to you?
Highly recommend some anger management classes. And for Miss Rihanna, leave the slapping around to the bedroom. If you like that, go for it. But leave it in the bedroom. Do not get smacked around in life. Come on, lady. Come on. Game over.
I agree. And I think my biggest concern with that is the dynamics between the two of them.
Sure.
You know?
Well, yeah, and she says she's not a role model, so she gets to do whatever. And that's cool, Rihanna, but you are a role model, so that's number one. But number two, have enough self-respect,
right?
Not to go back to someone who's abusive.
And what does that really translate to? I'm not a role model, so what that really means is I can get my ass beat if I choose to.
And that's a personal choice.
Okay.
But again, on Facebook, people were talking about the male and the female, so we got to worry about his anger issues. Yes. And I want to talk to you, Miss Rihanna. Game over.
Game over.
All right.
Moving
on.
Well, this plays right into our discussion today.
Yes.
We are talking about why exes come back. And they always come back, right?
Damn it.
Can I set the stage?
Yes.
Go
Well,
ahead.
I want to say one thing about this. A couple people on your fan page said, my ex hasn't come back. And to that I say, congratulations! You are lucky, because when they come back, it just throws a whole mess, a heap of madness into your life.
Well, what did I read? Somebody had said, I lost 180 pounds this year. I got divorced.
I love that. I've been using that for years.
Right. Well, I think it was actually a guy, but that's okay. So,
guys, you can lose losers too. It's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's set the stage a little bit. So, every relationship starts with an original agreement, right?
Okay.
So it's either financial, emotional, It can be romantic. There's a variety of things.
It's just like a silent agreement, or this is like the full-on relationship agreement, hey, this is what we're agreeing to?
It could be either.
Okay.
But most of the time it happens quietly at the beginning and it sets the stage.
Okay.
So when the agreement falls out of whack, that's when relationships end. But
like cheating.
Oh yeah, there's a deal breaker that happens in the relationship finishes.
Got it.
But the other pieces of the relationship besides that core issue still function.
Like
if
you're still attracted to each other.
If he ran out of money, and money's a big deal, but he was incredible in bed.
Did you know me in my last relationship?
I don't want to talk about it. Remember that night you were drunk? She started it. So, but that's
Money,
my point.
Sex, yeah.
But some things do function. So
right. So the other parts of the relationship function, you're saying. Right. So are you saying that they come back because they're reminded of a piece that works?
It's a combination.
And it's intriguing.
It's some things do work, and other times people have their self-esteem completely wrapped up in the relationship itself, and it's the only way they can keep it.
Ladies, gentlemen, who's been there?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who face that all the time, where you've given too much, and the only way you can get it back is to stay in that shitty relationship.
And you have an identity wrapped up in that relationship, so it makes a lot of sense. So, okay, so we've gone our separate ways. Our agreements are broken, but there's some parts that that still are intact.
Right.
So, exes return for sex.
Definitely for sex. Definitely for sex. Epic sex is like.
I'm sorry, sex with an ex.
See, and why? So say why.
Because it's forbidden fruit.
Right.
And it's hotter than ever because you know you're not supposed to be with them, which is the same as forbidden fruit. I just had to punctuate the point because I'm having flashbacks right now.
Right. Makeup sex is the best, unless, of course, you're in prison. That doesn't work out well. But makeup sex...
My booty hurts.
But makeup sex is supposed to be the best because it's this rush of what you think is real emotion until, of course, it all ends with an orgasm and you go, what the fuck? Really? Am I really here?
You end up crying for like hours on end going, why did I just do that? You end up feeling really bad about yourself. Yeah, right. all of it.
Right,
okay.
No, and I've done this too, by the way. But Bad Boys, this is part of the reason why Bad Boys are so popular, because they're really mysterious and good in bed and all that, and then they screw you over, and then the sex keeps coming back.
All right, so what are some of the other reasons these boomerang people come back?
The do-over.
The do-over!
Now, this could be Chris and Rihanna, couldn't it?
I think it's the epic sex. You know they're having some hot sex. You know it. They're like, wow.
Well, based on his bar fights, I think the prison joke I just made might play out eventually.
Ouch! My booty hurts again.
But no, the do-over is where somebody learns some core things that they didn't have down in their relationship before.
Yeah.
And they want to do it again, so they call you back.
So this is about like genuinely wanting to try again.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is positive. Is it positive?
It's very positive. It can be positive.
If you both are on the same page and committed to changing what didn't work, yes?
Yes, and both people have moved on in their own individual lives and learned a bunch of things as people on their own.
So this is when it's appropriate to get back together. I think if you both agree to show up as different evolved people in the relationship. That's a game on. I like that.
Definitely.
I like that. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 is where we have this desperate person who dumped you 6 months ago, and now they got into another relationship, maybe they cheated, maybe whatever, and they're single again. So what do? They call you, hey, what's up?
No, it's more like a text.
It's this whole, like,
how
just
you
thinking
doing?
About you.
What's up?
Right, how have you been? You okay? Like, there's all this
been thinking about
thing,
you.
And you look at your phone, or you hear the voicemail, and you go, what the fuck?
Your heart
Where did you come?
Beats,
right,
and all the really fast.
Fight or flight, blood rushes to your feet, right?
Well, not to your feet.
Well... For some people.
Okay, can I talk about another reason they come back?
Definitely.
Boomerang exes have a spidey sense when you are really moving on. Right? So, like, maybe it took you some time to heal, and they left you alone during that period, even though you desperately wanted them to call.
And now that it's over,
and now that you're dating, maybe you've met somebody fabulous. Mr. Big was a total Boomerang ex with Carrie, right? All the time when she was moving on. But so this is real. This happens all the time. Right. They sense you're moving on. They pick up the phone, they call, they text, they show up, whatever. And that's a massive game over because I think all that is ego.
Oh, totally.
And I'm saying game over to that.
Well, for guys, I mean, for a lot of men, not all men, right? But for a lot of men, it's this whole notion of I'm a male cat and I just peed on that and that's mine. And I can come back to it in a year and it's still mine. And that's not the deal. Yeah, I said peed on.
That's separate from golden showers, which is another show.
This is just getting worse and worse. So what can we do?
What can we do? So, I think boundaries are essential. Boundaries.
Yeah. Well, you have to recognize what was broken in the relationship, right? Even whether you're going back to an ex for the right reasons, like a do-over, or you're moving on to another relationship, you're destined to repeat those mistakes.
Yes, unless you learn something.
You have to learn.
And I like what you say about really getting clear about your part in the relationship and their part in the relationship. So if it is a do-over, talk about it before you jump back into bed.
Definitely. Or jump back into bed and you're destined to repeat the same mistakes.
Yeah. And if they keep coming back every time you're about to move on, I know how intoxicating that is from firsthand experience and from a lot of women and men I talk to. That slows down your moving on ability. That actually detracts amazing people that you may be starting to date and get to know because they sense, because they got spidey senses too, that you are not available. And I say if you really want to have a rock star love life, you gotta let that ex go. As sexy as it is to think one more booty call, no, game over.
There's a reason they're an ex, right? It's called a breakup because it's broken. So pay attention to all of that.
Exorcise your ex, online, offline, in all areas.
Right.
Okay.
Good to go.
Boomerang.
We're going to pay some bills.
Yay, it's time for our sponsor time.
Our sponsor today is...
Your Tango. We love your Tango.
Not my Tango. Your Tango.
Because it's a Tango. Relationships, love.
Your Tango has some awesome advice for everybody who's looking for relationship advice, love advice, filled with experts, including us.
Yeah, including us. It's probably bad. We always say that, but it's important to repeat. We love your Tango. And what I think is really valuable about your Tango is that regardless of the stage you're at, you've just broken up, you're going through a divorce, you're dating, you're single, you're looking to mingle, whatever the stage is, you're a single parent and you're looking to date, your Tango has resources and experts available for you.
Right.
So it's all areas.
Now, we are at the back half of the show. This is where we get to your advice. We answer live every day. If you have a question, please send it in to right there. Facebook.com/theproblemismen. Click on the message button, and we'll get it here. Until then, it's time for love advice. So, our first bit of advice goes out to
Kaylee. And normally we keep you anonymous, but Kaylee posted on the fan page on the wall. And so, hi Kaylee, what's up?
And this is a very innocuous question.
Yes, and I'm going to defer to you since you are the gentleman here. Kaylee wants to know how you can really tell if a guy is into you.
Right. Well, I would. It's a great question, and
we need to know.
I would really venture that you're asking this because either a friend of yours is unclear or you are unclear. Right. So you're in something where you're trying to figure out if he's into you. So there's a couple things. Some guys have a hard time showing what they feel. And they show their love in different ways. And you have to be able to receive it on your side.
But what if it's not in the way you're used to acknowledging and seeing? Like some guys tease a lot or because they're not emotionally available, they don't really show overtly. And so the signs are a little confusing. And if you're not used to it, you could totally miss it.
You could totally miss it. That's one of the dangers. So I usually say, if he loves you, you'll know it. And if he doesn't, then you'll be wondering all the time if he does. And that plays for a majority of the situations. Okay. But for some, to your point, some guys they don't know how to show it.
Yeah. So what's your advice for dudes who are afraid to show that kind of vulnerability?
That's really about them. There's nothing that the woman can do to change that. He has to get to a place where he's comfortable on his own. And he's got to get to a place where he's able to share himself. Okay.
So if there's a gentleman listening who's going, I might fall into this category, Charles, what can you tell him?
Yes, you. Well, get into yourself, man. Yes, you. Get into yourself. Look, if you don't trust her, I get it. If you come from a bad relationship, and this plays for women as well.
Yeah.
If you come from a bad relationship, I understand that too, where you're going to be hesitant in sharing yourself.
Shy.
But at some point, you got to fish or cut bait, and if you're not going to put yourself out there, not only will you lose them, you'll repeat that same situation over and over.
So I want to have a follow-up question about Kaylee's. This is a common one I hear from women. The guy keeps texting, but he doesn't actually ask her out.
Right.
What do we do with that?
Fire him.
Game over.
Yep.
Done.
Game over. Look, when somebody wants, now there are those shy guys who don't know how to do it. Okay, I get that, and you'll know if that's him. Okay, but otherwise he's just playing. He's just playing. And here's the real deal, right? Don't tell me that he doesn't have time. Don't tell me that he's at work. Don't tell me that he's busy. Don't tell me all that bullshit. Okay?
It's bullshit.
If he wanted you, he would be at your fucking door now. Okay? Stop
Amen.
it. No guy is going to sit in the back seat when there's something out there that he wants.
He's going to go club it and kill it and drag it back to his cave. That's what Charles always says. All right, you read this next one.
Okay. So this is from R.
Hi, R.
Hi, R. I'm having problems getting over my ex. I love him very much. We have a child together. I just want us to be a family again. He doesn't love me the way I love him, though. I was trying to get back together, but then he went with somebody else. Every time I move on, he pulls me back in. No, he doesn't pull you back in. You go back in. There's a difference. You're not a victim. I really don't know how to get over him. It's been so long now. I'm losing hope of ever moving on.
Can I take this one?
I hope so. It's a breakup, not a breakdown.
As the breakup specialist in the room. So let's talk about a couple things here. Number one, it sounds like you're really focused on what once was, right? It's like we have a baby together, we had a relationship, I want to stay there. That worked for me. For whatever reason, didn't work for him. He left, he moved on, he's with somebody new. Now you can hold on to that vision and say, that's the future I want, but it's in your past, it's like rear view. And until you look forward and go, what the F is next for me, including moving past him, including letting him go, including not getting sucked into that boomerang, because as Charles says, you do have a choice in the matter, you're going to stay stuck. So give yourself permission every day to take one step closer to your future by letting him go, by asking you also, what's next for me?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is one of the things that Lisa always says, especially when it comes to breakups, is you're focused so much on him, you're supposed to be focused on you. You know, you're really supposed to be focused on
what's next for you and your child? Like, there's a child in the mix here, too, which I know makes it challenging. I know that. And the child deserves to have a fabulous future, too, but you've got to model that for them.
Right. I think our camera died halfway through this.
What's up with that?
Right? Wow. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. So much for technical difficulties. Fiona will be on it momentarily.
Yeah.
Shall we read the next one? I'm looking at the social stream here. I think we had some technical difficulties. Sorry, everybody. That's what happens in a live show, right?
We are live. It's official.
So this one to Kay.
Hi, Kay.
Hi, Kay. Kay says, hi, I've been with my man for almost 6 months. We've had some problems in the relationship. We broke up once before for 2 weeks, got back together. Everything was great. We had moved very quickly in the relationship. I'm a single mother of a 9-year-old. And he's been in one relationship since he was younger with a single mother, but hasn't dated another single mother since me. We love each other a lot, but there's lots of trouble. I have a feeling that
sounds complicated.
It's very complicated. I'm trying to build trust again. He's trying to build a relationship again.
Together?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has never been able to commit before. I really want him to commit. How do I get him to commit? Is this just him trying to hang on to his freedom?
There's a whole lot going on in that one, Kay.
Well, here's what concerns me, though, is the 9-year-old child.
Yes. You know, when there's kids involved, it's always so much trickier, and it's still doable. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, with a child, like, you're not really dating anymore. You're kind of interviewing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, this is a kid that's in the mix of the whole thing.
Is it his kid?
No, it's hers.
Okay.
But he's dated single mothers before.
Okay.
So I don't know why. I think
What's his fascination with the single mother thing?
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
Maybe because he's got some freedom and.
I need some more details, but this feels like a hot mess. And like the short version. And I'm not saying you're a hot mess, okay? I'm saying the situation feels like a hot mess.
I knew what you meant.
Sorry, Kay. Let me be clear.
We're not laughing, I promise.
Not a hot mess. Situation, hot fucking mess.
Yeah.
So, couple things. There's a kid involved. Producer Fiona is laughing her ass off over
At
there.
Lisa, not at you, Kay.
Not at you.
Not at you.
What I meant, again, to reiterate, you are not a hot mess. Situation.
Well, you're right. I mean, because it is really messy. You know, this is a guy who sounds like a serial single mother dater.
Yeah, and they've only been dating 6 months.
Right.
So, part of the problem, I'm feeling like, when you've only been dating 6 months and you've already been broken up, that's kind of a sign that things are kind of a game over already.
Right.
So if you're coming back together, you got to be on the same page about your commitment to the relationship. I'm not sensing he's on the same page about the commitment.
And either am I. I mean, especially with the child involved. Like, it's been 6 months. Your child's been exposed to him as some type of male figure.
Yeah.
No more confusion. Like, get it together or get the hell out. There's somebody else besides you. Yes, relationships are between the two adults, but there's a ton of influence with a 9-year-old, especially at that age.
Seriously, they're so conscious of everything that's going on around them. And you've got to have that open dialogue. You've got to be able to say those uncomfortable things. And if he's even still available, I'm really confused if he's even still into it.
Yeah.
So I say, for your sake, game over.
Yeah. We agree.
We agree.
Just for today.
Yeah. Don't think this happens a lot, people. Don't accept that. I don't accept that.
If you have a question,
yes.
send it into Facebook. Head over to facebook.com/theproblemismen.
Yep.
Click on the message button, and we will get your message here.
And if we've answered your advice, please send us a follow-up. We'd love to hear from you. And Kay, again, I didn't call you a hot mess. Email me and let's talk about it.
Right, and she didn't. It was just the delivery was classic. You know what? I'm just going to get out of here. This has been Game Over for today. We will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific. Check out thegameovershow.com, and you can find out all about our upcoming episodes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.